I know it's slightly late, ladies and gentlemen, but we got there in the end. We got there in the end. And tonight, I've been trying to get this guy on for quite a while now, but with work and everything else, we've just kind of been missing each other all the time. Mr. Tom, how are you, my friend?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me on. Yes, exactly right. Every time there's been an attempt to have me on the show, something has come up to make it not so. But you caught me on a day where I was literally on my way home from work, and you were like, "Do you fancy coming on?" I was like, "Well, I saw the sorry, get ahead of myself. I realised that I've got a message request on Twitter, and I thought to myself, oh, all right, what porn bot is it this time?" And then it turned out it was a porn bot named Brownie. And
I know. I have restarted another Twitter account, but I'm a bit scared to post anything, put any photos of me up. But I've just thought I'd restart one just to get a Twitter communication with certain people going, like, you know. We got quite a few in a chat at the moment before we go on to tonight's subject. First one, Burnley till I die. Long time no see, brother. Greetings, my friend, to yourself as well. That Cardiff City fan. And to be honest, Mr. Tom, when I first come back to YouTube, you were first person to tell me about that Cardiff City fan. I didn't realise until you mentioned it that his old channel had gone and he had to restart and so on and so forth. So yeah, so he got you to thank on that one. There's a long time no see you, Matthew Price. Well, you sexy bugger. Very long time, my friend. Hope you're well. Hope you're well, and welcome back to the fucking madhouse. Kieran Morrison. Hope you're well, my friend. Thanks for everyone coming in, I tell you. BX Gunner, who's got a spliff? Not me. No. I can't handle. Rob Wilson. Hi, Brownie. Thanks for dropping in a stream this afternoon, mate. Hope you're well. No problem at all. I tell you what, while I'm going through the chat, Mr. Tom, do you want to put a link to your channel in the chat? Yeah,
I can do.
Yeah.
Actually, can do. But we'll cut a long story short. If you want to see weird things about Leeds United on Sunday night, then I'm the man for that. Also, if you like professional wrestling, if you like men in spandex just doing gnarly things to each other, no, I'm joking. But I will. No, please do excuse me. Obviously, this is my laziness. So I hadn't even prepared that you would afford me the generous opportunity to do such a thing.
Hey, no problem. Hey, no worry. I'll just go anyway. Just to let you know, guys, for people who haven't come across Mr. Tom, he's got two channels. He's a Leeds United fan, and I know his Cardiff City fans in the chat, and they're gonna gasp. Some of them may faint that I've got a Leeds United fan on here. But honestly, please check out this channel. We're all championship supporters. Well, most of us in the chat. So please check out his channel. Also, if you're into wrestling, now me, no, wrestling's not for me. But if you are into wrestling, he also has a wrestling channel. So while he's putting the links up to those channels in the chat, I'll go through the rest of the chat. Stefan, fucking hell, Brownie and Tom. I know. Finally, we made it, mate. Finally, we made it, Stefan. And Stefan, you're an Ipswich fan, yeah? Kiefer Moore. I know we spoke a little bit about it last night, but he's on fire since he's joined you guys on loan. Richard Cox. Hi, Rich. Hope you're well. I see your son's channel is going really well as well. Fair play. Thanks for joining, mate. Much appreciated. Cardiff, it was shambles. Absolute shambles, mate. Absolute shambles. We'll go on to that because we've got a fellow championship supporter with me, so we'll go on to that. Stefan says Tom's channel is quite funny, highly recommended. Matthew Price.
The wrestling one came up, but I did the football one, the Leeds one. for some reason, it's like there's an anti-Leeds block on
Well,
Streamlab.
I have to support YouTube on that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Matthew Price,
Uh,
gone mad. Have you let in a Leeds fan on? Hey, it's not until you actually see you'll enjoy his company, I tell you. Sam Greenwood, is this for lower league supporting channel? Leave it out, Sam.
yes,
Remind me again what the score was tonight.
Galileo.
Kiefer Moore's championship level. Right, there you go. That is the wrestling link, yeah?
Yeah, I've tried the football one twice. It's not having any of it. But
Okay, go
I
on.
could ask Stefan a massive favour, and because I believe it, according to your live chat, he has moderators, or and Sam have moderator privileges. Apparently, I believe if they did that kindness for me,
Okay, Stefan
then
or
it
Sam.
might actually stick.
Yeah, no, but you know what? I can't remember who's moderator and who isn't really. He's doing all right at Town Brownie. Decent win last night. Oof, we'll touch upon that now. Andy Leeds United. Big up, lads. Good to see you. I think that's it. Right. Okay, let's go through the scores first, Tom. Go through the
Please,
scores.
yeah.
Now, I know you're working. I don't know are you able to
Yeah.
watch it while you work or?
I
Yeah.
am. I'm not every game, but I was fortunate, or I say fortunate. I managed to have both Champions League matches on top of each other. But if you actually watch them, that was more of a punishment than a privilege. I've got it. I've got
Well,
issues with this Champions League.
Well, you know what? There's a topic that will lead into that. Now, let's just go through the scores first. Liverpool 4, Luton 1. Now, typical Brownie, my cousin who is residing in Australia these days, or only moved over a few weeks ago, big Liverpool fan. When Luton went up 1-0, I messaged him, and yeah, that fucking message fucking aged well, I tell you. I had it right in the neck after the game. Champions League, Porto won Arsenal 0. Napoli won Barcelona 1. Now, I've been training. So I didn't watch any of the games. So what's your review of both games there, Tom? Or even if you watch a Liverpool game as well?
I didn't have access to the Liverpool game, unfortunately. We only have the 2 Sky boxes, so it's both Champions League. But
okay.
Admittedly, I was more watching the Arsenal game than the Barcelona game. But it's
okay.
The best way I can sum it up was it felt like Porto got exactly what they wanted out of the game. They stifled Arsenal. They, personally, I could be wrong, but I felt Arsenal were a bit leggy, because they play some intense football. It is very bombastic stuff the last few weeks, and I think it may have caught up with them a bit. People free to say that I'm wrong there. That's fine, but I feel like Porto went there to get something, just to take to the Emirates, even if it's 1 goal, because that's now put them in a situation where they can shit house their way to a victory. Pardon my language.
Yeah. No. Hey, come on. It's a late night show. All language is accepted, mate. No problem. And there was another one, an EFL. Forget all these ones. It was an EFL Cup, wasn't it? Game? Bradford were playing or something. Yeah. Bradford lost to Wickham in the EFL Trophy playoff 1-0. And also, as well, I have to mention it, there was an under-18 game at Millwall tonight. A good friend of mine and good friend of the channel, Lester. I haven't seen Lester since my wedding. But I noticed on social media that he attended that game because he's from South London, and Millwall ran out 2-1 winners in that game.
Good result.
Right. So you touched upon it. Mate. And I'm going to bring up a subject which, guys in the chat, you can, join in the debate as well. You mentioned that the Champions League games was quite boring. Now, this subject was brought up on the overlap a few weeks ago, and it wasn't until I heard, put on the radio, people saying it was really boring. Last night was. Do you think it's time that UEFA done a U-turn on a decision about the away goal rule? Because I do think that the away goals added that little bit of excitement to games and meant that the away teams would come out and try and get that handicap ready for the second leg. I don't know what you guys think.
I think it was interesting that they got rid of it, because the real reason they got rid of it was because Juventus kept losing on it, and their chairman at the time was quite high up in the UEFA, like, I don't know the names of these things, but like the club association and everything like that. He was like a big part of that until he basically fucked everyone over with the Super League. But he was obviously influential enough to literally change the rules of football, because Juventus, I think 3 years in a row, went out of Europe on the away goal rule. If it's not free, it happened enough times that he was like, hang on a minute, we're getting fucked over here, like, because we're going out without losing matches, kind of thing. And I don't know whether that's actually the case or like, but he felt it enough to actually change the rules of football. And I want to say the away goals rule is exciting because it creates jeopardy. It encourages the away team to not do what Porto did at home tonight, which was basically to shit ours Arsenal for 90 minutes and then just have one shot at the end, which was a great shot and it happened to go in. But it's one of these things. If you win on the away goals rule, it's fantastic. And if you lose on the away goals rule, you want it gone.
As a neutral, because now the Welsh Cup entry for Cardiff City, we never get into Europe. So as a neutral watching these games, I do miss that little bit added jeopardy. That's a great word to use, actually, jeopardy. Because I tell you something, with this Porto Arsenal game, I put my house on Arsenal still going through. But had the away goal rule been involved here, you know what? Arsenal would have been very nervous at home with Porto going there winning 1-0.
You're right. You brought up something interesting, because they've now created a situation where even if Porto score first in the away leg now, the second leg, if Porto go 2-0 up on aggregate, Arsenal still need 2 goals, and they can still go through with 2 goals, because then it can just go extra time penalties. So there's actual no real competitive advantage to Porto going 2-0 up in terms of you can now sit on that as an away goal, because it's not.
Yeah.
So I know we're in the like people go, oh yeah, but there'll still be 2-0 up. I mean, but it's not the same as it would have been 10 years ago if you went 1-0 up in the second leg, the away leg.
No, I agree. I do agree on that. Let's see what guys are saying about it in the chat. It was just I just think it's lost something. Lost something of jeopardy. It's a great word in which Tom used then. Ethan's in the house. Hi, mate. Hope you're well. Sam Greenwood. Tom always likes one of those behind the lines BBC World reporter.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, 1 second. I got. No, it was just
sport in Lisbon all over again, said the ex-gun. I don't think so. I think, for what I've heard, Porto weren't that good, and I've also heard that it may have been a bit too much recently for another game with Arsenal, which is what you meant about Leggy. Porto and Shithouse go together. Didn't Porto beat Man United on the away goal rule?
Yeah,
When Mourinho went sliding on. Yeah, that was the away goal, was it?
Yeah. I think it's fair to say Arsenal fans made this if the sort of match that played out in a way that neither of them deserved anything from it.
Yeah.
I would have been thrilled. If I was Arsenal in the 93rd minute, I'd have been thrilled because it would have been like, all right, we didn't play well, but neither did they, and no one scored.
Yeah.
Take it back home. But then, obviously, what happened.
Yeah, if I'm honest with you, I looked at the ties which were drawn of this round. None of them really looked that appealing. Napoli, Barca, maybe 10 years ago, yeah, no problem. But, not at this current moment. Both teams are a B level,
Big names, but not at their... they're not at their top.
Nice too for the money you lose on a betting. Oh yeah, well, I didn't lose money. I lost 3 bets recently. I went to MGM, bet MGM, and it's like bet £10 and get £40 worth of 3 bets. And yeah, one point, Rafe. I don't know if you've seen this, but Rafe and Dundee United. And Rafe scored a winner. I done a draw, and Rafe scored a winner. The guy hit it from like bloody 35, 40 yards out, and in the 92nd minute, and I couldn't cash out. Frick yeah, now. And it was an accumulator as well. I prefer. Ethan says he prefers how it's more fair.
I do. I think it is more fair. That's literally right by definition. It's literally more fair. Does it create more excitement? No, it doesn't. But it is more fair.
Yeah, I suppose you have to. I suppose it's one or the other. Do you want more excitement or do you want fairness? Stefan, just a quick minute. Can everybody thank Brownie for his time tonight? I tell you what it is, Stefan, and this is God's gospel, yeah? Since I've come back live, I've been struggling. It took me 3 months to have the courage to get back live. And what happens is that when I'm on my own live, I hate it. I never really liked it before. But you guys got me through, and I was doing live shows on my own over an hour. At this moment in time, when I'm on my own, after 30 minutes, I'm like, oh, I can't be fucked, to be honest with you. But I feel more at ease, I think, when I've got someone else with me. So, Tom, on just to helping me through tonight, I just want to thank you very much. But that's basically hand on heart of why I do kind of do short shows if I'm on my own. Stefan prefers the away goal rule. It encourages attacking football. Who remembers Barcelona PSG come back? Yeah. I was in Spain and all that.
Oh, like football won't let you forget it. It doesn't shut up about it.
Arsenal still go score 2. Well, technically, only 1 and go to penalties, I suppose.
That's the blessings of no away goals rule.
Yeah. The battle was lost, but war's still going on for them at do or die. Yeah, I can't see a problem with Arsenal in the next round. Bernie, greetings again, my friend. You must have come back. We've already greeted you. And Tom is a real people's champion. He's a good lad, is Tom. Stefan, don't worry about Brown. He's still crazy. Yeah, no. I don't know if guys, if right, I haven't even looked at the figures. Channel figures are above. We're over 3,800 subs. Facebook gone up. The channel views, I thought that did hit the 3 million mark. It did smash the 3 million mark. We were almost 3,200,000. Crazy, if I'm honest with you. We've hit 1 million in a week. All down to shorts.
Is that including the views for the Astrid Wet getting hit by the football video? Short, sorry.
Yeah, shorts. That's including the shorts, to be honest. But unfortunately, they don't include the shorts on the viewing hours. So I know, bit of a fucking nightmare. But a guy had to start from like from scratch again, because it was more than 12 months I was away from YouTube. So it only takes into consideration the last 12 months. So remember golden and silver goals? Yeah, I can't even remember that. I can remember it, but I can't remember. What was it? Half an hour silver goal? I can't remember.
Golden goal was the game terminates on the instant there's a goal in extra time. The silver goal was the game will terminate at the first half of extra time if there's been a goal.
Right, okay.
The problem was in the high profile match that it was used in Euro 2004, Greece scored past the Czech Republic in the 105th minute. Basically, injury time of the first half of extra time. So then, as soon as Czech Republic kicked off, the game was over.
Well, Greece went on to win that tournament, didn't they?
They did. They did. And it was shocking.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. At Portugal, it may be Portugal at in Lisbon.
Yeah.
Who's going to win again?
They beat them in the first game and the last game, if I remember rightly. Of the tournament.
I remember that happening, but it changed the results in '88. What was then called Soviet Union against Holland. They were both in England's group. They were, and a guy called Rats. He was known for hitting rockets, to be honest, and he hit it from about 40 yards. Boom. Went top corner. Soviet Union won 1-0 on that one. And then all of a sudden they met each other in the final. And that's when Van Basten hit that volley. Which, you know. Who's going to win the Prem? What do you think? I'm still going for Arsenal, I think. Tom, how about yourself?
I'm just secretly pleased with myself that I got to use the word terminate in a sentence about football. So that was personally exciting for me. But to answer this question, as much as I have friends in the Arsenal community, I don't think they will begrudge me too much to basically say I think it is Man City's to lose, in the context of they're just so strong, aren't they? Even when they're not doing well, they're still doing all right.
Yeah. Rodri really makes them tick, doesn't he? You know, I don't think people, until they went, he was injured for a few games and they didn't win a game. And
he got sent off, didn't he? He was banned for 3 games.
Okay, banned.
He didn't win any of them. Yeah, he didn't win any of them.
Until he was out of the equation, people realised just how much of a key component he is to that Man City team. You know? And I get the point you're making there. So all he's fucking around with rules. If it goes to pens, it goes to pens. Yeah, I know. It's like offside. You know, if you freaking toenail or your fingernail or your ball sack is offside, bloody hell, just go on the body. If someone is 7 foot, an attacker's 7 foot, and a defender's 5 foot, then his stride is going to be longer. So, do you know what I mean? By VAR, that would put him offside if he went, if they up against each other chasing after a ball. Does my head in these bloody new rules. Chris Nick's in the house. Silver go for it. Yeah, that's what you said, Tom, wasn't it? That Greece. Oh, they were. Who was that German manager, wasn't he?
Otto Ren. I can't pronounce it, but Otto Rengel, something like that.
I'm sure Stefan or someone would. Oliver Bierhoff scored the golden goal in the 96. Yes, he did actually, didn't he? I was against Czech Republic, wasn't it, at Wembley?
Yeah.
Vasily Rats, he's the boy. Oh, honestly, if you don't know about this guy, check him out on YouTube. Some of the rockets he hit. There was a crazy game against Belgium in the
86 World Cup.
or Hungary. I think he may have. They beat Hungary in a group stage 6-0, and I think it may have been against in a knockout. They beat Belgium 4-3, and then they lost to Spain. Was it 5-4? Some crazy. That Soviet Union team were crazy, but Rats was him, Igor Belanov, Alexander Zagarov. Wow. And you look at the world now, 90% of our team all come from Dynamo Kiev, but representing the Soviet Union back then.
Yeah.
I remember Rats, the cat had him in the end, though. Well, Rats, when he played France, there was a goalkeeper called Bats. So Rats scored against Bats. I'm trying to say that when you got a speech impediment. Thank fuck I went on YouTube back then. Bring up some Cardiff City videos back then, back to the channel. I will. Just, all in good time. All in good time.
There's a big untapped market on YouTube in the Championship. I'm discovering.
Go on.
There's a lot of people in the Championship. Like people are, Man United have got one of the biggest fan base in the world. It's like the Championship as a league is a lot of people.
I know that before my holiday, I know that one or two people did try it, but it didn't Blue Van Man, because he's a Leicester fan. He tried it. I think Pie, isn't it? Pieman or something. He's a Plymouth fan. But yeah, I get it. At the end of the day, the Championship is the 5th most supported league in the world. People need to remember that. Fixture orders favour Liverpool, not being biased. Do you agree with that, Tom?
I've not seen them, but I can imagine they do. But the reality is that until someone knocks Man City off that perch, you can't not go with them, can you? They've won it 3 years in a row, and won it a few years before that. They won the treble. All this, it's like when Arsenal go into the Etihad and win there, I'll be like, okay, Arsenal can win it.
Yeah. Tom, you're discussing slag. How do you say spend more? I was the same, Tom. I was the same, mate.
I don't know. That Sam, it's a reprehensible character. That Sam Greenwood, and he did once tell me that I should describe him I should describe him using words that are the opposite of what I mean. And so I'll have a go here right now. Sam Greenwood's personal hygiene is beyond reproach. No, he's good. He's a good lad, really. He's a good lad.
No, I met Sam a couple of years ago. We stayed end up sitting in the same hotel. We done a live stream with it. We had some good laugh, very good laugh, good fun, good company, Sam. BX KGB going out is a huge loss. If Rodri goes out, City don't have the advantage. Brownie's nose is offside. I know. I got 2 postcodes, remember, Sam, one for my nose and one for me. My nose is so big I can smell a coffee in Brazil, remember. Don't get me fucking about your offside, I know. Otto Renhagel.
Yeah.
He was that guy. Good man. News just in Thomas Tuchel will leave Bayern at the end of this. I heard this rumour earlier on. And you know what, Tom, right? As a Cardiff City fan, and people would know this in, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he took over Cardiff, we were not, I repeat this, we were not in the relegation zone in the Premier League. He took us down. He then signed, I double-checked this earlier on. He signed 19 players, Tom, right? 19 players. Some of them, yes, on loan, like Wilfried Zaha, right? But many of them were Norwegians. And lo and behold, many of them were from the same Norwegian agent as he was as well. I
Imagine
don't
that.
saying anything, but let me tell you something. Some of them wouldn't be good enough to get into the Newport team, never mind Cardiff. And anyway, we finally let him go because had we not let him go, we would have gone down to League One. I've got no doubt about that. So we finally let him go. Then lo and behold, a year or two later, he comes up at Man United. Right? By the time he was at the wheels had already fallen off. And now he's linked to this Bayern job. I tell you what, his agent must have fantastic contacts if this had pulled off, I tell you.
Now, I can tell you right now how the Bayern Munich interview process will be. They'll be like, the manager will walk into the room and the chairman or whoever it is that makes the decision for Bayern Munich, I forget how their hierarchy is, they're going to sit there and they're going to go, okay, I need you to tell me, can you win the league with Bayern Munich? They'll sit there and go, well, obviously it's Bayern Munich, one of the biggest clubs in the world, blah, blah. It's like, okay, but can you win the league with Bayern Munich that has Harry Kane up front? Can you win with the curse of Kane? The curse of Kane. Yeah, well, no, you have to have Eric Dyer, like, because you need to give Harry a mate to keep him happy, don't you? Like, you need to have someone to sit and watch old episodes of Pokemon with, but just amazing.
Bernita like that, yes. Oleg Borkan as well. Oleg Blocking, yeah. I think he was, wasn't he Ballon d'Or winner, I think? I don't know. Eastern Europeans score bangers, they do. Or they did back then. Absolutely. We're not saying that any of them were doped up to the eyeballs back then, but there's always been some conspiracies, that's for sure. Meaty Stroganoff was good for Belarus. I used to know some Eastern European birds, real bangers. Oh, hey, they're my best. They're the best. And you know what?
It needs to be tested.
They are nasty fuckers as well. They can be cold, but I love being put in my place by them, if I'm honest with you. I love being put in my place. I don't know if you know, but I've had off and on relationship with one for I didn't realize it was 4 years, but obviously my incarceration was taken in that. And she can be great sometimes, but catch her in a bad mood, fucking hell. Yeah. The McDonald's ragey fun, yeah. Can't wait till Burnley. Can't wait till back in the championship. Let's talk about the championship. Come on, right, hang on 1 second. Let me get it.
That's outrageous. And I totally get why he's saying it. Because
I know.
Losing every week in the Premier League gets to you.
Right, here we go. Here's the table. Right.
I love seeing that amount of green.
I know. Leicester, Leeds, Ipswich, Southampton. Now, I know Southampton lost yesterday to Hull, right? And fair play to Ipswich. I know Stefan's in the chat. But I think there's an issue now. It's been growing for the last few years. I think the parachute payments are becoming a big issue. I put a post up last week or a week before, maybe. We're talking championship level. But because of the help from parachute payments, Leicester, their wage bill is still 60 million for the season. Leeds, obviously, parachute. Southampton, parachute. Now, it all depends, with parachute payments, it all depends how long you've been in the Premier League. If you've just been one season, I think it's 2 years parachute. If you've been there, 3 or 4 seasons, then you can have 3 or 4 years of parachute payments. I think maybe.
But the third year is next to nothing.
Yeah.
They expect you to, unless you're actually in a position to get promoted, the Football League expect you to sell the players to make it so you can have an affordable wage bill in the Championship. Plus, it's not that hard to do because most players don't want to play in the Championship, so they'll be off anyway.
Yeah, and I think this is where the a Championship level is where the fit for purpose kind of owner interrogation.
The most dodgy owners in football tend to rock up in the Championship.
Yeah, basically because they just want to gamble. They don't give a shit about the club. They want to gamble to make sure that they go into the Premier League. Derby's owner, they lost the playoff. He gambled. They lost the playoff final. Then got relegated, and we all know what happened to Derby. We all know what happened to Bradford all them years ago. Oldham, and you look Sheffield Wednesday. I know Sheffield, but they got to the playoff final the other year, didn't they? They gambled. To be honest, Stoke are quite very lucky. They got Bet365 owning them, haven't they? And they have been for years. The Coach family. Yeah. QPR, never gamblers. Blackburn. Even Cardiff were gambled when they had Bellamy, and they've been filtering on a financial edge ever since, really. But what do you think of financial parachute payments, mate? As a Leeds fan, I know it helped you, obviously, this season.
They have to happen, though, right? And the reality is, if we don't get promoted and in 5 years' time we're still in the Championship, I'm going to sit here and go, it's unfair, it's nonsense, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is that the Premier League has created such a disparity between itself and the rest of football that you have to have it, because you have to pay players a Premier League wage to even have a chance of staying in the Premier League. You can't turn around to footballers and go, well, we think we might get relegated, so we're only going to pay you 30 grand anyway because people are going to get upset on Late Night with Brownie about the parachute payment system. But they're not going to join you, are they? They're just going to... They'll tell you to piss off and they'll go and join Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
They will get the money and they'll probably stay in the Premier League. But I understand the frustration of it for other teams, but it's a problem the Premier League created.
As a Leeds fan, the time when they had Bielsa and they went up, did you felt that they gambled big time for that season because they just narrowly missed out the season before, didn't they?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
What was the feeling that, listen, we're gambling, if it don't, the bubble could burst here if we don't go up this season?
Oh, we'd have been in big trouble. And I don't mean in the context of like irresponsible gambling, like say what Derby did, because Leeds took I don't say many good things about our previous regime because they made some poor purchases while in the Premier League. But I will give them credit that they had an interesting tactic / gamble, as you may put it, instead of saying we're going to spend 100 million on players to get us into the Premier League, why don't we just go out and invest in a really good coach for this level?
Yeah.
Which don't do. Sorry, can you say that again, please?
What's your feelings, or Leeds fans' feelings with Bielsa, even though what happened in the Premier League?
I didn't think he should have been sacked. I understand why he was. At the end of the day, we had a 7-day period where on the Sunday we lost 4-2 at home to Man United. In the midweek we lost 6-0 at Anfield, and then on the Saturday we lost 4-0 at home to Tottenham. That is a lot of goals conceded. You're borderline becoming a laughing stock. Something has to happen, right? I don't personally think the answer was sack Bielsa. If I caught Marcelo Bielsa in bed with my wife, I would ask him what sandwich he wanted afterwards. Just for an example. if Marcelo Bielsa murdered someone straight in front of me, I would tell the police that I've been blind since I was 5 and I know nothing about it.
No
For
way. Let's go
example,
back in the chat. Let's go back in the chat. Some massive clubs in the Championship and Norwich. Yeah, they really are. Really are. Championship's such a hard league to get out of unless you've got parachute payments, eh? McCarthy vid. The title race is actually quite exciting in the Prem and the Champions. It really is. And you're on about, there's only 2 automatic places in that Championship. And 3 of them going, 4 of them are going for the 2, really, if you want to include Ipswich, which you can't write off Ipswich now. I think they've done really well in what the signings they had, loan signings they've had in January. And, whereas many people, including myself, thought, okay, they're dropping off now. Their bubble is bursting, but seems to have given them that kick up a backside.
It helps when you got the former Man United youth coach as your manager, and like you can call him 30 times whenever he needs to go.
Yeah.
It's nice
Klopp to Bayern, I don't think you do that to Dortmund fans myself. What do you think, Tom?
It won't surprise me. If he's basically said he wants a break from football, then I'd be very surprised if he actually breaks that by going to Bayern Munich. But I'll call one. Anyway, sorry. I took more accurate picture. Sorry. Anyway, it does make sense. It's like the German merry-go-round, isn't it? Like when you're at a certain level, when you're German, you have to be the Bayern Munich manager. Like if you've won the Bundesliga, you have to be the Bayern Munich manager.
I think as a project, I think German national team coach would be more suited to him as a project. After the summer.
I don't personally know him, but I got the feeling it was my wife wants to go back to Germany kind of thing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I got that feeling as well. Guys, there's so many comments. I'm going to have to jump down a bit. I do apologize. Bielsa played attractive football, Stefan says. He did,
He's the greatest man on earth. I can calmly, confidently state that. I don't know what we did to deserve him to grace the doors of our football club. And it saddened me that we so unceremoniously sacked him, especially for Jesse Marsh.
Oh, that guy, Jesse Marsh, I'm telling you. I've seen him on Simon Jordan's YouTube channel. He had an interview there, right? I know that he was on Sky Sports the other night as well. But just going on that interview with Simon Jordan, he is a proper used car salesman. If I went into his car showroom, right, I'm telling you, unknowingly, I'll come out and I already bought 3 fucking cars off this guy. But none of them will work.
He fascinates me.
Unbelievable.
I admire the confidence. I half believe he believes it. It's incredible stuff.
I was waiting for the phrase, just push the envelope. I was waiting for that phrase to come out on Simon Jordan. Pushing the envelope. We weren't. The guy's delusional.
Say what you will, though. He got that final day win at Brentford.
Yeah, I know. Marsh has gone forever. I think you'd be back.
He didn't know, really. Like, I'll say that to Josh, the Burnley fella in the chat, but no, Rafinha won that game. Like, Marsh had little to do with it.
No, I just think that it got to a point where the players just took it upon themselves. I think, And you do hear that does happen. Is that players like, oh, fuck this. Do you know what I mean? Well, what are they on about? Bloody currently renting a flat in Gloucester. Ooh, Jesse Marsh. One of our neighbours called Fred and Rose, keeping writing him around. What's the gardeners?
Don't look under the flower bed, or do. You'd probably bring a lot of comfort to a lot of people if you did. But anyway, is that too dark? Is that too soon? Anyway, sorry, what?
Yes, no. It's just some of them. They just go like Leeds went to America. They looked at America for a few players, didn't they, at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Plus they've been owned by the 49ers. And then they went Jesse Marsh. I fully expected them to be waving the stars and stripes during every home game. I bet some fans actually were.
On the discourse on it's really strange because obviously there was a big obviously I'm from London, born in London, lived here my whole life. So I'm also an outsider within the community of my own football team. So in that way, I can sympathise with the American element of getting into the football and being all right. Well, we have as much right to support Leeds as the people from Leeds.
Yeah,
and it's you're right, you do, but you still then got to accept that people are going to think that as soon as it goes tits up, that you're going to disappear and suddenly just discover that you love Man City all your life. But I don't know. It was a lot of we don't want you here. I've never really had that, admittedly, but obviously there's a big prejudice towards American fans in general, isn't there? Because of their the perception that they're loud, arrogant, don't really know what they're talking about. Not necessarily true in every case, but a lot of them do enough to fulfill that.
Okay. I get it. It's all the Ted Lasso kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Ted Lasso image, and no, I get that. We had it when Tan first took over Cardiff. We had the Malaysian kind of thing, and it never works really. Do you know what I mean? It never works. They try it. They think it got. They think they've seen a niche in the market. It just never works. People will follow. People start following clubs for many reasons. Many of them personally. They don't tend to be pushed into following a club by outside influences. Not I don't think so anyway. Tom is surrounded by United fans in London. Is that right?
I don't know who he's talking about.
Man United.
Oh, because there's West Ham United. I'm surrounded by West Ham United fans because I live 10 minutes from the stadium, so there's a fair few. I know he really means Man United, but I don't really want to acknowledge it either because there's 19 Uniteds in the English football pyramid.
Well, with you being surrounded by West Ham fans, I bet the conversation about David Moyes is just going on and on and on at the moment.
I know he's got his fishing rod out at the moment, and he's like, "Oh, Tom, I can do it too." Yeah, you can, Stefan. Yeah, you can successfully. Anyway, to answer your question, sir, about David Moyes, I find a lot of the discourse around David Moyes fascinating. Because I personally would throw around words like entitled, spoiled. He literally returned to your club to save you from relegation, which he did. I'm speaking of West Ham fans here. He saved you from relegation. Then he's turned you into I don't want to say a European force, but you've had a few years in Europe and you won a European trophy. Yeah, granted, you had a budget bigger than every other team in the competition, so you should have won it. Combined, they're playing teams in Slovakia and things like this. And I know that's you can only beat what's put in front of you, so I'm not mocking that. But the point is, you won a competition that you should have won because you have £40 million players in your team that should win it, and you did. So I'm not going to mock it. Like it's like that scene in Simpsons when Homer enters the children's competition for like making a display, and he wins. And some guy goes, "Oh, you won a contest for children." It's like, yeah, but he beat their brains out. So anyway, but point being, how dare they think that he's not good enough?
Chrissy watches West Ham quite often. He doesn't get the Moyes hate. If I'm honest with you, I kind of get it. I kind of do get it. However, I understand. I also get your point of view. What I don't like, and I did do a video about this a couple of days ago, is that the media. Look, if you listen to Talk Sport a lot, you'll know West Ham owners. One of them at least have got the media. I know Gold did as well when he was alive, but Sullivan has got certain certain Talk Sport presenters on a leash basically, and I didn't last few days. I didn't really listen. Fans have opinions. You go with it, but it's been quite relentless in support of David Moyes and the media, no matter what channel he be on. I think that's a bit underhanded, really, maybe by the West Ham owner.
I think, in all seriousness towards it, I understand why you'll be upset with losing 6-0 at home. It's not the same thing. It's an unexpected thing. However, he's managed to secure, or not him, Moyes, but the club, but they've managed to secure you a stadium for free, essentially, like paid for by the taxpayer. I paid for that stadium.
Yeah.
So I paid for that. They're benefiting from it, and then they're sitting there going, "This ain't good enough." It's like what being 8th in the Premier League ain't good enough. When the man that basically is at the helm of your club in footballing terms has got you there and got you the. He took you to be in Championship. You on the final day of the 1920 season, you were in the situation that Leeds and Burnley were in, where you basically had to win to be in or draw or whatever. Yet basically, it could have gone another way where there'd have been no European trophy. You'd be going to Rotherham. We all know about going to Rotherham. No one wants to go to Rotherham. Not even the people in Rotherham. Like when they leave Rotherham, they're upset they have to go back.
I get it. I know. It just I mean that stadium is past its sell-by date now already, isn't it? It has to be even or partially dismantled and then built on, or they may have to do a new build on a piece of land next to it. So that's going to be interesting. I think West Ham would have had that for peanuts had it been a Tory mayor in charge of London, because at the moment it's costing London taxpayers still a shitload of money every single financial report I hear about it.
To be clear, when I say I paid for that, I probably paid pennies for it towards it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Part of the pot. Like I wrote the check for 1.5 million and was like, "Go on, West Ham, have it on me." I'll just have the one bit of cod and chips tonight. I usually have two, but have the stadium on me. It's fine.
So who Leeds got on the weekend? Who next game? Because they beat Plymouth convincingly last time, yeah?
It was actually one of the worst Leeds performances I've seen recently, and we won 2-0, and it was nice and comfortable. I thought you won 4-0,
or was that another game against Plymouth?
We played them in the Cup replay. That was 4-0. In the league game, it was 2-0. It was one of those where in hindsight, it was comfortable, but during it, you've had a game where you're 1-0 up, and they've finally decided to start pressing your team, and they're on your team, but they're not hurting your team. Like we're still fending them off quite comfortably, but in the moment, as a fan, that doesn't feel very comfortable because you're like, all right, we need this second goal. Unfortunately, we then broke out and got that second goal, and then it became quite comfortable. But
yeah.
wasn't good. Wasn't
Well,
good by any
we
means.
drew 0-0 against Blackburn last night. Very, very boring, if I'm honest with you. We got Stoke on Saturday. I don't know. I'm just looking at how many. You're probably in a better position than me because I am been watching the Championship closely last couple of years. But we're on 41 points. That's enough for relegation in the Championship, or am I thinking 40 points is more Premier League safety?
It might, it's interesting to say that. I actually think because of the emergence of Newcastle as in my opinion, it's going to become a top 7. It's going to become a big 7 based on finances. Whether they change the rules and that to prevent that with FFP and that is obviously not for me to say. But I do believe that because Newcastle have emerged, that means you actually need less points to survive. As in, you can survive now on like 34 points, 35 points, which obviously, as you know, 40 was historically the magic number.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was.
Not anymore.
Right.
Whereas the Championship, I think, is 50.
Okay, so we've got another 9 points to make up somewhere.
Yeah, you've got 13 games to get it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I know. It's just been. I thought we had a good transfer window, but doesn't seem to be working, if I'm honest with you. But listen, it's coming up to the hour mark. Stefan, I hope you're happy with that. Mr. Tom, I know you just finished work. You need to relax. I need to relax as well.
That was my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me on.
Thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. And please, guys, if you don't know about Mr. Tom, he's going to become a YouTube legend. So until next time, adios.
That sounds like work.
Take care, guys. Thank you very much.